because a lot of people get hung up on strangers. Well, why are you calling them strangers? Well, they're not strangers. They're consequential strangers. And my card's over on that desk, so I did one of my website, one of my blog entries, talks about, I have actually a test you can apply to see if somebody is a consequential stranger or a friend, if you care. But you know what I say about it in the book is that it's like, everybody has different yardstick for measuring intimacy, because what is a consequential stranger to me might be somebody else's close friend. I have a friend who, this story always stayed in my mind. She said she heard her husband talking to an old army buddy one day who he saw maybe every 5 years. And he got off the phone and he says, he's my best friend. Your best friend? Well, in his mind, this is a guy who had his back in Vietnam.
Sure.
So, and my own college roommates, I made the error one day of when I was first starting the book, and I wasn't even sure how I was going to define consequential strangers. And I was sitting with my college roommates. We hadn't seen each other in years. And I said, like you guys are consequential strangers. Well, the next day they jumped all over me. And they said, we can never be your consequential stranger because we knew your mother and father. We knew you when. We lived with you. And you know what? I couldn't argue. That's not a consequential stranger. That's an old friend that I'm out of touch with. But the way it's defined in the book, it's like the Supreme Court Justice who had to define pornography said, I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. Saying, you know who your consequential strangers are and you know who your intimates are. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.